I'm fishing a remote beach on a rising moon. Hi, my name's Roger Osborne. In today's video, I've come down to a relatively local beach, which you've got to get there from a bush track. I'm the only one fishing on this beach, and the conditions are a little bit different to usual, but I'm super pumped. I'm always expecting to catch fish. In tonight's video, I'm going to explain everything that I'm doing and what I'm thinking. If you're enjoying my videos, if you haven't already, make sure that you subscribe and hit the notification bell. Let's start fishing. So it's interesting today. You know, the ocean is always changing. You're always faced with different things. This is a reasonably large beach, but there's absolutely no features at all. It's high tide in about 1 hour, but even at low tide, it was totally featureless. It's almost like a lake. And any waves that are breaking are really only breaking about 10 metres from shore. All the way along this beach, it's the same. And in these conditions, my general thinking is that feeding fish will be swimming along the perimeter of the beach directly behind where the waves are breaking, pretty close to shore, because other than that, you've just got clear green water. And the only stuff that's being stirred up is along the edge, so you don't have to actually cast very far out. Also, my thinking is any large predatory fish, they'll probably do a couple of laps of this beach, and they're going to come past here at some point, just out beyond where the waves are breaking. And actually the other day I was looking at a beach from a headland, and I could see a large school of fish. It was a dark patch. I knew it was fish and not weed because I could see it moving around. And where those fish were was directly behind where the waves were breaking. So you had the clear green water, and then you had the white water of the surf, and they were kind of mingled half in and out of the green and the white water, which I think is pretty typical. So tonight my main baits are, I've got beach worms. I'm going to fish with a double beach worm rig, so 2 baits of beach worms. I've also brought down some squid that I caught. I got that out of the freezer, so it's some frozen squid, but it's squid that I caught myself. So I'm going to put one line out with squid on it and have the other line with the beach worms on it. I may fillet a fish and use that for bait as well. And I'm just going to enjoy this beautiful location and have my lines in the water for the next hour or so, and hopefully hook under something exciting. So, time to get started. Let's flip this one. That was really just a tiny little flick. I hardly cast it out at all. So, but I'm just going to test it, see how things go, and the sun should be setting soon. So, be interesting to see what happens, what sort of bites we get. It has gone a bit slack, hasn't it? Very slack. Why would that be? I wonder why it went slack. Hey, I'm getting a bite on the other rod. I definitely felt a bite then. Come back, please. Yep. Yep. Oh, got him. Okay. Let's see what's biting. This is on the worm bait. Have I still got it? I don't know. I don't think I do. I think it got off. Oh no. You catch a lot of these small flathead off the beach. Unfortunately, these ones are never big enough. You really want to catch the larger dusky flathead. So just remove this guy from the hook and let him go. But that's first cast on the worm. Oh, that's on the squid. Have I got one? I had a bite. No. Well, that's nuts. Something was whacking that. Really close to shore, obviously. So this is part of a squid head that I had on. I'll just rearrange it. I've got to rearrange it in a way where it's going to have the barb exposed. I'm not going to be too fussy with it, but there's a bit of ink left in that. Okay, so I think that's better actually, not having that lump on there. Okay, that's about where I think I want it to be. Now I need to get my other line back in the water. Just wind up the slack. I have a few old pilchards with me. I could use them for bait, but I'm going to mush a few up just on the shore, just to get a bit of oily scent in the water. It always helps. Just going to take a handful of these down and munch them all up. There's not much current to disperse it, but it should stay in this general area and gradually filter out into the water. And if there's any fish travelling up and down the beach and think, oh, what's that? What can I smell? I want to crush them up and get as much blood and guts as I can. Blood and guts. So they'll just swirl that around that nice little bit of fish smell out there, and I'll patiently wait. One method that you can employ in these conditions is to put in a good cast out the back, let it sit there for a couple of minutes and then just wind it a metre and wait. Wind it a metre and wait and work your way back to the shore to see if you can locate the fish. So far I've only been casting, just been flicking it out 10 metres from the shore. But I think I'll do that with my next cast. I'll put in a longer cast just to see if there's anything cruising around out the back, and then I'm just going to gradually work it in until I hopefully get a bite. This beach is pretty much the same features from one end to the other. The reason I've chosen this spot is because I'm closer to one end of the beach and where the headland is, and I know that there's a reef out there. So I'm just hoping that as the light gets lower, fish will travel in from the reef, which is close to shore, and they'll start working their way along the beach. So I think I'd rather be towards the end of the beach than right in the middle. Okay, so I'm going to put in a long cast and then do what I just was talking about. So that's well and truly out in the middle of deep water. I don't necessarily expect that there'll be lots of fish just out in the middle of nowhere, but you just have to test everything. Well, no nibbles out the back so far. I just sort of lean into it and pull it in about a metre or so. Wind up the slack and then just hold it. The bites I had before were really close to shore on both rods. I had a bite, but I don't have it. Or if I do, it's a baby flathead. I had a bite about halfway in. I can see that my my top bait, the worm's just about been stripped off that top bait, so didn't get any bites out the back, but when I was about halfway in I got a bite, so that means this time I'll cast out in about the same area that I just got that bite then. So you see this has got a nice little bit of sand on him so that I can hold the worm. I'm going to put that in his mouth. Like so. This is actually quite a large long shank hook, this one. I think it's about a 2.0. I just use these large long shanks sometimes because of the salmon the big salmon that can be hanging around out there. There's my bottom bait. I'll just check my bottom bait as well. It's still got enough worm on it, so I'll toss that back out again in about the same spot. Okay, so round about there. I feel like some fresh fish. Would be nice. Okay, so alright, so I chucked that out in the same spot that I got the bite previously. Feels a little bit like a brim. Let's just see what happens with it. Oh no, just a small salmon. So this is a juvenile salmon. Had to be about 35 centimetres long probably. I reckon they would be really sweet to eat at that size. Also excellent bait, filleted up. So I have to decide what I'm going to do with this guy. I just know I want to get my line out quickly. Oh, that was a bite, wasn't it? Oh. Are they still going to have a go or what? Oh. Something was having a go at that squid. The bait's still okay. Very gentlemanly, tiny little casts. Look at that worm bait. I'm not really going to use all that worm for bait. My other line had a bite, so I had to quickly put this one down. Another little flick, just beyond the edge. Yeah, that should be good. I might get a little bit more pilchard and mush it up into the water, I think. Whoa! What's having a go at that? Haven't got it. Oh, yes I do. Oh. This is on the squid. I was going to throw some pilchards out there, but didn't really get the chance to. Come here, Mr. Fish. 1, 2, 3, lift. So the salmon obviously like the squid. So that's probably why squid-coloured soft plastics work well on salmon. You know, your plastics with more whiter colours. Yeah, so they eat a lot of different things, salmon, worms, pilchards, squid. I'm going to keep this one to eat. That'll help stir the salmon up and maybe a few other things as well. I'm planning to use a bit of salmon for bait in a little while. I'll toss this bit of squid out, but then I might switch over to some salmon fillet. I'm getting a bite. The next beach, Tabari Beach, has got zillions of worms. It's better. It's better for worming than this beach. I think something's going on. Yeah. Oh, that one as well, eh? Okay, yeah, all right, well, I'll put this one down. Like that one now. Gonna leave that there. I was in the middle of tying on a hook. I filleted that small salmon that I caught, and I've just put a slab on here. Just got a single hook in the bottom of that slab, and I've put a half hitch around the top of the slab as well. I'm just going to flick that out. The issue is I may risk getting bitten off by a big tailor, but we'll see what happens. Okay, well that's a lovely piece of fish flesh out there. I'm sure something's going to want to eat it. I was just winding my line in and a fish grabbed it on the way in. It'll be a tailor for sure, I'd say. It's grabbed a worm bait as I'm winding it in. Yeah. Hang on, look at my other rod's getting smashed. That's that bit of salmon. Look at this lovely little tailor. Whoa, that one's getting hammered. Oh man, I need to actually, just gonna have to check this other rod. Oh, I'm on. Yep. I think I'm on, yeah, I am. This is on that piece of salmon. Just gonna get it in quickly. Oh no. Oh, I thought I had one, but I didn't. Even I can be fooled sometimes. Okay, well it was getting whacked. I'm tempted to use that tailor for bait as well, because they are really good bait. Okay, well I'm going to keep that little tailor. This, oh, there goes my other rod again. I better pick it up. It's got to wait for a bit of a bite. What's going on? I don't know if I've still got bait or not. Oh well. This tailor was caught trolling beachworm. As I was winding my beachworm back in, he's grabbed it. But the good thing is, because I was trolling it, he's just got the end of the hook and he hasn't frayed my fishing line. You can see where the hook's got him. But I think I actually, there they go again. I still have bait on that other rod. don't know what this is. Could be some small flathead. It's just lots of rat-tat-tats. I might just strike and try and set the hook. Yeah, it's just lots of little taps. Not a big fish. Now, that bit of salmon that I've got out on that line is just getting ragdolled. But I think this tailor is too good to waste. This beautiful bit of, this is prime mulloway bait, so it's a beautiful time of the night. So I'm actually going to put on a bigger hook and whack this guy out. I just so happen to have a lovely stainless steel 10-0 hook in here, left over from when I hooked that beast the other day. So that tailor is going to go on nice and fresh. I'm not going to waste the opportunity. Now I think I'm going to do similar to what I did the other day. I'm going to do a tailor head. This is going to be a dead bait, so I'm happy to kill him a bit quicker, because now I'm going to cut his whole head off on an angle. This is what would happen if you got bitten by a shark anyway. So I'm going to put this tailor head on. Beautiful, fresh bit of tailor. And really I'm doing this for a mulloway, that's what I'm doing it for. I want lots of that barb exposed, plenty of nice flesh, and I'm going to swap it over for the salmon bait that I've got on now. I did this last week. I had a frozen tailor and I put its head on. I just caught a tailor by accident. So while it's nice and fresh, I'm going to do the same thing again. I'm going to chuck this tailor head out. However, my target species is not a stingray. I just want to see if there's a big mulloway sniffing around out there, just on dark. Now I hope to see this rod buckle over again, but with a different result. Look at that, that's like tailor. That's what it is. Tailor attacking tailor. You can see I've got the tailor head out there and my rod's getting whacked like bang, 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 but that would be tailor cannibals having a go at their brother. But maybe that'll attract something bigger. I've got a fish. Don't know what this is. On the beach worm. It's only small. Where is it? Oh, it got off. Hang on. Still got my bait. I still have my bait. I had a fish on then, but unfortunately it got off. So I'll chuck it back out again. Well, the sun has disappeared. It's well and truly over the other side of the hill. I've come down to this beach which had virtually no features at all. Just looked like a lake with waves breaking on the edge. The tally was I got 2 salmon, I got a tailor, a flathead. If I was just targeting salmon and tailor, I could certainly have got a great feed. When I caught that little tailor, I thought, beauty. I'm going to whack that lovely fresh tailor head on and stick it out there, because I was here around the top of the tide just on dark, which is always a great time for a mulloway. So I've actually had this tailor head soaking only for about 40 minutes. It's been getting hammered, obviously by other tailor because they're total cannibals. Keeps getting whacked and hit, but nothing big has come along and sucked it up. So thanks for watching this video. I hope you've learned a few things. today about what to do when there's not much happening down the beach. And I look forward to seeing you next Saturday in another video.